Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my kitchen. It is a quite grim winter day outside today, so we had rain in the forecast and clearly it is raining. So what I did is I just made it comfy and cozy in the inside. Been out with Alfie for a morning walk and we both came back kind of like drenched wet. So Alfie's blow dried, happy on the couch right now. I have a fire in the fireplace going, put candles on, and just it's one of those days where you just want to make it like comfortable and nice on the inside. And I think it's just the perfect day to share something with you that I've really enjoyed to do, which is a little bit of like gift giving for Christmas. So when it comes to Christmas, I like to surprise my friends with something that I made myself in the kitchen. And usually I always bake, and I'm still intend of baking, but it's a little too early for that still, I think, because really when I give out cookies or pastry or anything, those things need to be really, really fresh. So what I want to do today is I want to make a Christmas preserve. And I want to show you how I make the preserve, want to try it with you, and then also show you how I basically pack it. Because if you remember, I made these like topper for the mantelpiece around the fireplace, and I was crafting some paper flowers for that. And already in that video, I told you that I made some smaller flowers as well, because already there I had in mind that I might use them or need them for something. So I'm going to use those flowers with some Christmas decoration, different materials. I have everything set up already to make these jars look as nice and Christmassy as possible. First, what I want to do is just talk you through all of the ingredients because I've already prepared everything here, but I'm missing something. Hold on a second. It's like I've got my oranges and the spices and a pumpkin. Can you believe it? Another pumpkin. I made it from the Julia Child of cooking to the great Rodini. Some magicians can pop a rabbit out of their cylinder. I can make pumpkins appear out of nothing because we still have so many pumpkins, I can't tell you. I think we still have like 15 sitting in the storage room. They're still fresh, they're still good, but I'm working my way through, and I can tell you I did a lot of different things with pumpkins, but the one thing that I really enjoyed eating most, and I made a video out of it. One of my first videos actually was when I already made a pumpkin preserve. That was a pumpkin and plum one. And that goes so well with so many different things. I just love to add a spoon to my yogurt, or in the afternoon, like every day I eat porridge for breakfast. And I always make a little more porridge. So in the afternoon, I just mix some of that cold porridge with some coconut yogurt. And then I put a fresh spoon of that preserve on top of it. It's so delicious. So I almost eat like one jar a week at this moment, maybe, yeah, pretty much. So I'm going to make some jars to give away, but also a couple of those for myself, of course. But the pumpkin and this recipe is kind of just like the base, basically. This is not where the taste comes from. I just need something to have like a lovely base, so it's like mushy and just like a puree, basically. And it's just nice, I think, because it's a little more personal, because I grew these pumpkins in my garden, so when I give it away, it's also something like a little greeting from the garden, basically, in a way. Of course, the oranges are not from the garden. I wish I could grow them, but no. That is not a thing here. So let me just talk you through the recipes, the ingredients first. So first thing I have are the oranges, and I boiled these oranges. So make sure that you buy organic oranges, because what happens with these is they will be blended. So they boiled for roughly an hour, 10, 15 minutes, and they're really like mushy and soft inside. And what I do is I buy different kind of oranges. So juicing orange, like a normal eating orange, because they have different, like some have like a thin rind, some have a thick rind, some have more juice in it, some are more sweet, some are a little more bitter. So I think by mixing different kind of varieties of oranges, you just get a more rich citrusy flavor basically in there. Then I have Cointreau. So if you make this for kids, of course, you just don't need to add the Cointreau. I think for Christmas and everything, it's just like a nice addition. It is like a liquor made of oranges, so obviously really focusing on orangey theme going on here. And also when you eat a preserve, like, I don't know, in the late afternoon and you make yourself a hot toddy or mulled wine or something, just a lovely flavor combination, I think. Then to the spices, I'm going to use 3 different spices. The first one is a gingerbread spice, which I could buy already prepared in a pack here, and these are 2 teaspoons of the gingerbread spice. Then I have my vanilla sugar, and I use real bourbon vanilla sugar, so you can see it as this brownish vanilla sugar. These are like, here we can buy them in like these paper bags, so it's like 2 of those paper bags. If you can't, I don't know, wherever you watch how you're going to buy vanilla sugar. It's probably like maybe 5 teaspoons, I would say. If you don't want to use vanilla sugar, you can also just like get the real vanilla out, but I just don't have it right now. I just happen to have this, and I think this is perfectly fine. And the last thing, I have 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, because I really want to have like this rich cinnamony flavor in there as well. In the end, when I add all of these spices, I'm going to try, and if there's not enough of something in there, I would just amp it up, because I personally really love to focus on like rich, full flavors and Christmas spices and all of that. Then I'm going to add something, which is one of my favorite candies, of course, chocolate. So I adding a very dark chocolate, or very dark, like a dark chocolate, like 85% cacao in it, because it is a preserve or a jam. So you add, of course, the sugar in the end anyway. So I don't want to use like really, really sweet chocolate on top of it. I just really want to focus on like chocolatey flavor. I'm just going to show you one now, but I have like actually two more lying on the side. So this is something where I also just figure, taste it in the meantime, and like while you're doing it, and see how chocolatey you want to have it, because I don't want that the chocolate overpowers everything. I really want to focus on it should be chocolatey, but I really want to focus on the orange and the Christmas flavors basically here. Then obviously the last thing that you always need to have when you make a jam is kind of like the special sugar. This is the brand that we buy here. There you just basically follow the recipe how to deal with it. So this is what makes it into a jelly, or kind of like this preserve. But when it comes to this, is like 1 by 1. So you should add, for example, like this is 1 kilogram of sugar that should go in 1 kilogram of fruit, or fruit and vegetable in my case, which I'm not going to do because that is a little too sweet and too overpowering. I probably use like maybe 650, 700 grams on 1 kilogram of fruit and ingredients. What I want to do now is just talk you through how the recipe works, and then I just show you how I do it, speed it up, and then really focus on like the gift giving and how I'm going to wrap everything and try it, of course, with you. So what you do is the pumpkin, you need to like chop it up into small pieces, get all the seeds away. And since this is a Hokkaido, I can use a rind as well. This is perfect. There's one reason why I love Hokkaido. And I mean, the color is always beautiful when you do anything with that. So what I do is just like chop it up into small pieces and boil it for like 10 to 15 minutes up until it's really nice and soft. Then just get rid of the water, blend everything, and put it aside. Then in the meantime, I had the oranges that I've boiled are roughly 650 grams, I think. This is like, I did a little more than in the recipe. So I need to see how it all goes, how the consistency in the end will be like. But I will blend these entirely as they are. Everything goes in there. The only thing I need to do is, like, you can still see there are these little like storks in here. So just get those out, obviously. But then that's it. All the rest can be blended as it is. So then you add the blended oranges to the blended pumpkin, and you add the sugar. Everything goes back on the heat, and then you just really follow the recipe and what kind of sugar for making preserve or jam you have. This needs to boil, really boil for about 2 to 3 minutes. After those 2 to 3 minutes, I'm going to take it away from the heat again, and then, only then, I will add the alcohol and all of the other ingredients. The alcohol only then because I still want to have like this little alcohol flavor in it. If it would boil, then the alcohol would just like evaporate basically. So this is not what I want. And also with all the spices, because if they would boil, they might change flavor or something. I really want to have like this full, rich flavor that they give. And the chocolate, obviously, because chocolate is the one thing you do not want to boil, because then the fat in the chocolate would just separate from the cacao, and that would be ugly. You could not eat it, would not be edible in the end. So make sure that you add the chocolate as a last thing. Actually, just put it, I'm going to show you, put it on top of it and just let it gently melt in it, and then I'm just going to stir it around. And when it comes to the amount of chocolate that you put in there, I have like 3 bars in total. I'm not going to add 3 bars, I think, but it's really depending on the flavor. I'm just going to try it like with probably 2/3, I think, or maybe the entire I need to see, and then just try, because I don't want that the chocolate overpowers everything. I really want to focus on this like flavor of orange and all those Christmas spices basically. But what I'm going to do now first is, as usual in my gardening videos, I'm just going to put the camera on me, put some music under it, and show you how I'm doing all of that. I made it myself comfortable because it's a perfect time to try it. I think it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Not really, it's not dark outside. It's maybe like 3:30, 3:15, around that, but still, it's a perfect time for a little break and have a nice hot cup of coffee and just like enjoy it and see how it tastes actually. I'm excited. Of course, I tried it already. And I think just pure out of the pot, the orange was a little overpowering. So I really want to see how it ties together with like the sweet bun here. Just to be sure, just to see. Alfie wants to join me as well. You don't get any candy though, you know, right? You might get a carrot or something in a second if you want to. But let's see, I'm really excited. So yeah, I made myself a hot cup of coffee in one of my self-made mugs. So I do pottery as well. So for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you see in my story highlights that I share with you sometimes how we do the pottery. And I bought something in a shop this morning here. So on the morning walk at the end of our road, so I live really outside the city of Gdansk, kind of like a village. And here in Poland, in the countryside, there still exist these really old-fashioned kind of stores and shops. Kind of like a supermarket, but you don't, if you go in there as a counter and there's a woman behind the counter and you can't choose whatever you want, you just say what you want and she basically chooses it for you or gives it to you. So this is how it works, but I sometimes love to go there. So this is where I bought actually this little cute little sweet bun here, But yeah, so what I'm going to do is see how it all tastes. I'm really excited. First, I want to have a sip of coffee, actually. And then dig in there. Of course, a little bit of butter. I'm from Germany, so we always put butter on everything. Oh, it's really good. Plain on a spoon, I was like, whoa, this isn't quite overpowering taste. I'm not sure. But like this, it's really good. It's full of flavor. It also works really well with the butter and also with the sweet bun. That really takes the edge off. Oh, this is super nice. I'm happy. I got 5 jars out of it, but quite big jars though. So I'm really happy. Next thing we're going to do, first, I'm going to eat a little bit and have my little coffee break here, but then afterwards, I'm going to take you over with me to the table, to the dinner table, and then we just do a little packaging and how I'm going to like make it ready for gift giving. I prepared everything, made it myself comfortable here, had a lovely coffee break, and after that I quickly needed to go out with Alfie because little Missy was waiting in front of the door for a little walk around, but it was nice. It was just like nice also after this like really sweet jam to just like get myself out for a quick walk. But you can tell it just gets dark now, so within the next 2-3 minutes it's going to be pitch black dark outside for sure. But I have my jars sitting here ready. I clean them, and just one quick word I want to talk you through is like how to make sure that you can store a jam or preserve actually. So you could see my video that I cleaned the jars first, then I put boiling hot water into them and left the water in there for at least 5 minutes, maybe a little longer. And only when the jam is ready, I pour the boiling hot water out and straight goes the jam into these glasses, close the lid, and then I just pop them upside down and leave them like this for about 10 to 15 minutes. After that time, you just turn them back over again, and then you can just check with your finger if you can press the lid down, and I can't. Nothing moves, nothing happens, so that means it's fully sealed and this is perfect for storing. I would say a couple of weeks. I mean, do not store it like for a year maybe. Because also I don't have a high sugar content in here, but like I made strawberry jam, for example, and that can store easily for 4, 5, 6 months even, like without a problem. But since I don't use like any like chemical preservatives or anything, that's just the one thing that you should always like have in your mind basically. So now to the decorating and how I want to label them and everything. I found really cute labels actually. So these little black thingies here in different sizes, and then this white marker that goes alongside with it. So I could properly write the name down and put a sticker on the glass. I think this is going to be really nice looking. And since the glasses kind of look a little bit like an Italian restaurant blanket on the top, I want to hide it, and I happen to have some fabric. This is burlap sack. And for some reason, that speaks Christmas for me. Is it the same for you? I don't really know what it is. I kind of thought about what it is. But what I want to do is like cut out circles and just put it on top of here, because then I can kind of hide the lovely check pattern that is going on the glasses. And yeah, the thing's like it also doesn't smell really good if you're honest. Like it is, I mean, it is even a smell of Christmas to me, but I don't really know what it is. It's so funny. But yeah, I want to put it on around here and tie it in, and I have some ribbons that I could use, some rustic looking ones or one that's a little more neat looking, all in natural colors, and really focusing on all of these natural colors that I was using for my entire Christmas decorating here. So everything is kind of like the same color scheme and language basically. Or I might use, which I actually like a little better, to just use some straw to tie it up. So I have some of this here, and I think because I want to use a straw, because I have some straw stars. Really cute. I didn't craft them myself, so these are the ones that I bought actually, but still I think they're looking really cute, and they're like childhood memory for me. I remember the very first Christmas tree that I remember as a child. My parents really had like some straw stars on our tree, so this way I'm also kind of like, oh, they were really nice. When I saw them in the store, I needed to have them. Then one more thing that will go on there is something that I already shown you on my previous project, like the garland that is sitting on top of a fireplace. I did these big paper flowers, and alongside I made some small versions as well. So I have all these small paper flowers here that I can incorporate into my project, and I think it'd be very cute to have like maybe one flower sitting here, and then maybe like a straw star or something. And then I also have these like really cute, like real glass Christmas tree ornaments. They're like little pine cones in really nice green tones. So maybe something like this goes here. So it's all these natural colors, like everything's like in tones of like brown and beige and a little white, a little green. I feel this could be really cute. I also have like some metal beads here still, and some twine just in case if there's something where I just want to have like something like sticking out, or I need to see. I really need to work my way through and see how I'm going to do it. It's not that I've done it like a, I don't know, TV cook or something, where I'm just going to turn around and show like 5 glasses that are absolutely perfectly decorated. What I'm going to do now is, flip a phone, and then you can just see how I find my way through and how I do it. And by the way, if any of my friends are watching, and yes, this will be part of your Christmas gift, so I hope you enjoy this video, and I really hope that you will enjoy this as well. You guys, that is it for today's video. A little different to what I normally do, but I still hope you enjoyed it. And I tried to incorporate at least the garden theme a little bit by using one of the pumpkins that I was harvesting in the garden, and tried to make it exciting by like a little bit of like gift giving and crafting and cooking and everything. So I think that was just a fun, nice day with you, and I love to share these moments with you because this is basically a normal day of my life when it's really bad, grim weather outside and you can't and don't want to go into the garden. And moving forward, especially into January and February, I can tell you some of those indoor videos are bound to happen because when winter hits, it hits hard in this area here. Especially last year, it was quite cold and stayed cold for quite a long time, up until like March. Then the garden slightly awakens again, and then I can also start working in the garden again, at least if we don't have like heavy snow, of course. So for those 2 months, I plan on doing maybe some crafting videos with you, talk you through my seed order, maybe start some sewing even already, and also do some cooking videos. What I plan on do, just to give the entire account a more personal edge, is to share some of my hometown recipes with you, because I grew up in the north of Germany, and the food in the north of Germany is completely different to what a lot of people out of Germany think German food is like. I know when I'm in the States, everybody always thinks like I eat big slabs of pork and sauerkraut and dumplings and all of that, and I don't. Because I grew up like 1,000 kilometers away, not 1,000 maybe, but like a couple of 100 kilometers away from that area where people eat that. So I just want to just share some different things with you, basically. And I hope you're excited about it because I'm excited to share those moments with you. Up until then, I would really love to welcome you in my garden, or maybe, depending on the weather, inside in one of my future videos very soon again. Hope you had a lovely day. Take care, guys. Bye.